Commissioner meeting. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to begin our meetings with the pledge to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. So if you'll all stand, please. Once more to the welcome. Read us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Commissioner Mishler had a mandatory meeting he had to be at, so he won't be here today. Had a chance to read the minutes. Make a motion to approve the minutes, John? So moved. I'll second that. All those in favor, raise your right hand, all two of us. First on the agenda is Drew Wright. I thought Shirley was coming too. Should we wait on her or she?
No, it's too early for her. No.
Okay.
She gets a late
All
start.
right. Drew, you're going to talk to us about changing boundaries for election precincts?
Thank you, Chairman Brown. I'll go over here to the map that I've got. I'm here today representing the city of Salem. And, of course, every 10 years, as you're aware, after the census occurs, the legislative districts have to be basically redistricted so that the constitutional principle of one person, one vote can be fulfilled. And the idea is that when you have legislative districts and people are elected from those districts, why you should adjust the boundaries of those districts so that they have as equal a population as possible, so that each person represents the same number of people. So in Salem, we've been able to do that the last times that we've had censuses, the last 4 times. And so by the time we get the census data through the clerk's office, state election board sends it down to her, then it's available for by the census to pick up. Why we have that by census block. And so census blocks are smaller areas, and then we can look at the population of those blocks and see what adjustments are to be made. So at any rate, when the census came out, our city council boundaries were pretty close after the 2000 census, but we found that we've had a lot of growth in District 2 and lost population in District 1. So the census left us with 1,388 people in District 1, 1,823 people in District 2, 1,529 people in District 3, and 1,579 people in District 4. And so the total population, I think, was 6,319. So if you divide that before, why, that would be, I think, 1,578 3/4 people. So it turns out that District 4 was the ideal population as it was. So I wasn't going to change that. I recommend that be changed. District 3 needed to pick up 50 people. So we looked at all the information, and we found out that in the 2-block area, south of Highway 56, which is Mulberry Street, and west of Harrison Street, and east of Franklin Street, and north of Walnut Street, that 2-block area, according to the census, had 50 people. So if we shift those 2 blocks into District 3, then it has 1,579, which is the ideal figure. Now, District 2 is going to present a challenge because it had to get stretched out in 2000 to meet the population standards, so its boundaries ran all the way from city boundaries out on 56 West all the way down to the city boundaries on Highway 60 Southeast. So I really wanted to find a way to tighten up District 2. And so we found out that all this area, which is Westminster Farms, and then everything east of Aspen Drive, according to the census, there's 171 people there. I think there's more than that, but that's what the census says, and that's the only information we have to go with. So if we pulled 171 people out of 2 to 1 here, that gets us a long way towards, readjusting the population. And then we found that in this 2-block area here, which is Martinsburg Road, Caleb Street, Carr Street, Tucker Street, the census says there's 30 people there, or 33. So if we move the 171 here and the 33 here, and with that one adjustment, why, then we could end up with 1,592 people in District 1, 1,569 people in District 2, 1,579 in 3, 1,579 in 4. And that's as close as I could get, so basically, it kind of meets a couple of standards. Number one, it gets us as close to population equal as we can do. It only changes 3 geographical areas. I mean, granted, the city precinct boundaries, which are also the council election districts, are a little bit squirrely here, but we had to do that to get the population straight. But I figured, let's leave that alone. So we're just changing here, here, and here. So the city council went ahead and passed an ordinance to redistrict its council districts for the next election, which would be, what, 2015? I guess it would be. So, at any rate, in order to avoid confusion, when the city's done this, we always come to the county commissioners to then have the election precinct boundaries coincide with the council districts. If you didn't, city election would be chaotic if you didn't do that. So, what I've done, I'm asking you to prospectively go ahead and change the election precincts for the county to match the city council boundaries inside the city limits. Now, that also does something else as far as the county is concerned, and that would, it would realign your county council districts for the next election, whether they're elected by district. Well, next election, I think it's by at-large.
No, this was at large.
Okay, well, this is a large.
Next will be by districts.
Okay, well, this would change that at some point, but, and I've given you kind of a printout there to give you an idea of how that would be. And the county council, you don't have, as commissioners, you don't have quite the flexibility to readjust population because you're not supposed to cross township boundaries when you form precincts. And because you can't do that, you can't get your council districts quite as equal in population. You just don't have that flexibility. But if you look at the right-hand column, if this were put into effect and the council districts match the precincts in the city, well, we can tighten up the population spread a little bit in the county council district as well. That would be an incidental result of that. Now, of course, the next city election is not until 2015, so you as commissioners have a choice as to when you implement this, but I'm just simply asking that if you want to go ahead and make this effective, say January 1, 2013, then it doesn't affect anything for the 2012 election, but then it's in place for all elections that would follow until the next census, next redistricting.
I would prefer 2013.
I think I've left a blank on the draft order I've submitted, and I've just submitted a draft order. It's what we've used in the past, and you can have it modified as you feel necessary. I've provided the legal descriptions for the districts, and Shirley Batt, the clerk, she's very interested in this because she's also, of course, the clerk of the election board, and she's had Jeff Sauer review it, and he's okay with it. So, are there any questions or not? Why then I just submit it for your action.
Just one comment. I mean, these local and congressional districts are always done by population.
Right.
And this is mainly done for voting.
Precincts are, that's correct.
So I don't know why the state legislature doesn't tackle the problem and go by registered voters to get things. There might be twice as many population in one district as another, but the registered voters, that'd be a big difference. So that's something they should take a look at.
And that plays in Salem because District 1 always has a low turnout proportion to population. But, and if you notice that in the order that I've drafted, in finding I've made an estimate as to what the if this is put into effect, what the registered, both active and inactive voters would be. State standard is that you're not supposed to have more than 1,200 active voters in a precinct. Well, according to the census, 74% of the population of Salem is 18 or over. So, based upon the clerk's registration numbers, that means every adult in Salem is registered, and I'm doubtful of that. So, I think we have a lot of inactive voter numbers in these, so I think you're well under the 1,200 active voter standard if this is put into effect. But constitutionally, we have to go by population, not by registered voters.
Mr. Chairman, if you're ready for a vote and motion, I'd like to make one.
Yeah, this will be taking effect in 2013, right?
Well, that's what we got to decide.
Not this year.
Yeah, you got to put a blank in there about the effective date.
That's what my motion is.
All right, we'll make it.
I move to accept Andrew Wright's new boundaries for the city of Salem, to take effect January 1st, 2013.
John's not here, I will second that. All those in favor, raise your right hand. No opposition, and we can do that.
All right, and the clerk treasurer, she's putting together maps that they'll have available in the clerk's office that they can pass out after the general election, and then that's when it will be effective for county elections as well. And thank you.
So can they just sign one of these, Julie?
Pardon?
Can they just sign one?
That's fine.
What's the specific date to be written in the order?
January 1, 2013.
Yeah.
Date. When President Blair did the program speech.
Yeah, I'll say that.
I'll change it.
We have no one else on the agenda.
I'll take another hour, no, that's okay.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Robert?
Gerald. How's the county doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Dodged another bullet with the snow, went south of us, he's, maybe go update on Rick. He's still on dialysis. He's lost quite a bit of weight, strength's still low. They are gonna try to get him in rehab this week, this is as of last night.
I talked to his sister Sunday, and he had a bad week. They still haven't got the tube out, they're planning on it.
Hope to have it out today, so
It's good.
I'll be going last night.
Okay, good deal.
We've got a long way to go.
Byron, welcome.
Thank
What
you.
you got this morning?
Just visiting.
Good to have you. Max?
I've got a few things concerning the zoning that I'd like you to kind of look into on some of the numbers. I've talked to Tom briefly with it. He knows about the 36-7-4-213. Him and Drew had talked about that before because he brought it up at the other meeting. So, so they can be in compliance, and the county is, but the city still needs to provide their reciprocal person. There's a statute, 214, which I asked Tom to look into, that says that, the way I understood it, that the county was supposed to appoint 2 people to the city's board because of the fringe, 2-mile fringe deal. And I asked Tom to check on that and see what the status was on that. The other section with that is whether the city is compatible with the 903 section, which requires a separate board of zoning appeals specifically for the 2-mile fringe area that the county allows them to have.
What section was that?
903, 36-7-4, 903. I inquired Also, as far as about the section 216 on who can be on boards, like whether what constitutes appointed office in a municipality, city, or state, whether the boards that you appoint, any of those fall in that category. Example would be like the public defender board or anything like that. That's not a challenge to what you got. That's just asking for clarification on what boards do actually qualify. That would you be, are you appointing anybody that might, hurt your standing on anything else? I spoke with him on the section 222.5, which is compensation for board members. Also, I read across the section. We had a discussion earlier last year in open meeting with the land use board about in an event of a conflict of interest, could another person be appointed to vote in such an event? And section 220, actually, they told me that the law did not allow for an alternate voter, but section 220, I'd like Tom to look into that one, says that in the event that you see a conflict of interest, you can reappoint another person for that period of time. And then at the last thing I have is that we're told earlier on that this couldn't be a valid issue, but if you look at section 36-7-4-1212, it can be put on the ballot for recall if each of the precincts want to do so. So, I mean, just clarification that it could have been a valid issue, and I wish that the public would have been told it is possible. If you're not satisfied with this, I think you could bring them in less kicking and screaming, that if it turns out it's not right for your district or your precinct, you can do something about it. Then I hope that Tom's got the road down where he can see what to check into. And I'm not saying that you're in violation of any of this. This is just something I want to get a little clarification on. I mean, Ben, we're going forward with this. We need to be doing it in an appropriate manner. And the other concern, though, was whether, if this hasn't taken effect and the city doesn't have a board of zoning appeals for the 2 mile fringe, whether that would interfere with the breakup of the Day property, which they're claiming control under. And if that's the case, if they don't have jurisdiction, they come back on the county, how many parcels can the county allow to be broken into out of a 390 acre patch at this time? Do you have restrictions where it can't be broken into 19 pieces? That's just the questions on the table for your, they may not, everything may be just fine, but if it comes back to whose jurisdiction it really is, do you have an answer for that? And that's what I have.
Thank you, Frank. You got all that down, Tom? Okay. Rhonda, good morning.
Good morning. Awareness Washington County is starting to do their leadership or board facilitation training. This training, from what I understand from Margie, is to train people to go ahead and train the boards on how to be effective and run the board effectively to bring stuff to the community. Like the Park Board has asked for help. A lot of boards have asked for help. The Tourism Bureau has asked for help. And so I think it starts March 15th. I'm not sure. But the middle Tuesday of March. And tuition is $100. But that includes food, 5:30 to 9. And I would encourage anybody who is interested in serving on a board or helping the community to go ahead and take this training. So this is for people who are on boards as well as those who want to help them function more properly. Ian and I, my oldest, are signed up for it. Ian wants to do church work, and so he's 18 and a little bit weird, and so we're going to go ahead and take the training ourselves. And I have an obvious interest in seeing the community function well. So, but yeah, I mean, if you can get past that I'm going to be there, please join in.
Okay.
Please join in. Yes.
When was that?
I think March 15th. Let me look on my little calendar thingy. It's in March. it's March 14th. It's the second week of March. I'll have better dates. I'll be more prepared next time I come in. But it is coming up. So it's the middle of March. And you can see it on the Awareness Washington County Facebook page, would be a bonus. And it's been in the paper, I think, a couple times. I'm not real sure. Marcia, do you know when it is?
I've seen the date, but I can't remember. I think the 15th is a Thursday, though.
Yeah, I think they have them on I think they're just straight Tuesdays. I think it's the 13th, and then they skip a week, and but it's over, I think, I know it's at least six meetings.
We'll have another meeting before then. So.
Well, and that's what I figured. I had other things going on. So, but yeah, that's something I wanted to see brought forward and encourage anybody to participate who might want to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ian's weird.
Well, he's a good boy. I'm trying to turn him weird, but he's not, he's not succumbing to, he's trying.
Marcia? Nothing. Attorney Cyphers.
Yes.
He has a pile of papers, so I know he's got something.
I do have the ordinance that Jeff Souter asked us to establish regarding the new fees for the surveyor's office. I had this last time and forgot to bring this up. You may recall Jeff came in and talked about the higher costs, and basically it says, I do some recitals here that the Washington County Surveyor's Office has determined the approximate actual cost of reproducing documents and recommended to the Washington County Board of Commissioners that there be an increase in fees currently collected for such services. And whereas there's been a general increase in the expense of providing the document copies with no accompanying increase in fees for such services by the Washington County Board of Commissioners, it's ordered as follows. Standard size 8.5 by 11 maps shall be $3. The large 20 by 24 black and white plat shall be $5, and the large 20 by 24 color plat shall be $10. So you did, and just asked you to approve that and asked me to do that. Now this needs to be, we'll have to publish this in the paper. Yes. The next thing I have you may recall that there's a parcel of property, and Sarah, I think you might be familiar with this, in Pekin that Alice Bartman came in and spoke to us about, said she was going to be working with SRI and seeing if we can't get the commissioner's tax sales certificate and get that transferred to the town of New Pekin. This is a property that's dilapidated, and it's apparently owned by a trust in another state that's defunct. It's insolvent. And the taxes have not been paid on, and it's gone through the cycle. So what I have is a resolution of the Washington County Board of Commissioners to transfer the real property to the town of Pekin. It says, whereas Washington County, a local taxing unit, is eligible to take possession, title, certain parts of real estate where statutory tax sales cannot render such taxes satisfied. There exists a certain parcel of real estate with improvements known as parcel number 18-15-19-000-009-000-016 in Pekin, Indiana, on which, despite attempts at tax sales, real estate taxes have not been paid, and on which Washington County has maintained a tax lien. And whereas such real estate is located within the corporate limits of the town of Pekin, Indiana, and has fallen into a state of disrepair and public nuisance, necessitating remediation in the interest of public health, safety, and welfare, and the town of Pekin, through its common council, has expressed an interest in acquiring title to said property for such purposes. Whereas the town of Pekin, by and through its common councils, expected to pass a similar resolution agreeing to accept title of said property. Now therefore be it resolved by the Washington County Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners of the County of Washington, Indiana hereby resolves to assign the tax sale certificate is necessary for the transfer of the following real estate to the town of Pekin, Indiana. And upon the passage of the town of Pekin, Indiana, reciprocal resolution to accept title to said property for the purpose of making such improvements, this resolution shall be acted upon, and the Board of Commissioners shall be granted authority to execute all necessary documents for the execution of transfer outside of and without further meeting by the Board of Commissioners.
We've already approved that too.
Well, no, she just, I don't know that this was, she kind of advised us on it, but we need to go ahead. I want to make sure we have a motion and a vote on this.
I move I accept that proposal for the town of Pekin.
I'll second that.
Now, they're gonna do a reciprocal. Pekin will do a reciprocal resolution.
Don't try to stop by your office and do a sign. Okay, Tom, what else?
The town of Fredericksburg issue, the gentleman was here before the meeting and started talking to me, and I realized nothing ever happened. He didn't stick around, and I didn't do anything in between meetings on that. Do you remember, was I supposed
I
to?
thought he was supposed to get some
There really isn't anything we can
names.
do.
He had some illegal names on there, he was supposed to,
Right, and I can't remember.
he was supposed to go back.
I just didn't know if there was anything that I was supposed to be doing to take the initiative on this,
I
but.
thought he was supposed to get a new petition because he had too many on there that were not qualified to sign a petition for dissolving.
Have they gotten in touch with you recently?
Yeah, I've heard nothing. Because I looked at my correspondence, what I've done is I've advised you guys of the issue a couple meetings ago, and then, so there's no follow-up on that. Okay,
What else you got?
I believe that's it.
I got one question for you.
Okay.
Julie
Grant?
Graham was here last meeting,
Mhm.
asking for an ordinance on wild animals, keeping exotic animals, individuals keeping exotic. Was she the one gonna work on coming up with something and bring it to us?
I had a meeting with Julie and Randy Lee last week in my office. We don't have anything yet to present.
Okay,
So,
all right,
but I'm working on that.
all right. Okay, John?
Next Monday at Ryan's in Corden, I've reserved a room where we're going to have a meal for the county councilman and the commissioners and the auditor and attorneys, and later attend their meetings and give them a gift that Rhonda so graciously gave us to give to them. And we're going to take donations from the councilman and the commissioners who want to donate to defray the cost of that. And anything that's come up short, Ben and I are going to split the cost on that. So we already have our letter, and Ben's supposed to get the county councilman's signature to take down. Ben, John Nevels, Mervyn Fisher, and I are going to go down.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
I got just a couple of things. Oh, go ahead. Sir, well, never mind. Sarah, I'm gonna hold you to last, because I know you got a lot of claims to sign. I think everybody in the county knows that and the paper's already wrote one article on it, that the jail's overcrowding of the jail facility, and I did meet with the county sheriff, Judge Newkirk, and 3 representatives from RQAW, including Joseph Marak, who's the owner of RQAW, to discuss options on what we're going to do about the overcrowding of that facility. Nothing has been decided. Ben Bowling, who's the president of the county council, was also there. And until the county council meets and forms a subcommittee of 3 other members on the council, and then RQAW is going to go back and take a look at the original prints that we had from, you said 10 years ago, John? Around 10 years ago?
It was probably about 10 years ago.
And some questions that we had, and they're taking a relook at it. Once they get it, a few revisions made and things, and then they're going to call us and meet back. But as of right now, there's no action taken on anything that we're doing on this situation, but we will be, after we meet again, after the subcommittees are formed, and we will be meeting again, and as soon as they let us know, they said it'd probably take a couple of weeks, so maybe by next meeting or the meeting after that, we'll be able to report on something more positive than what I have right now. So that, and seemed like there was something else, but I don't remember what it was now.
One other thing, at our last hospital board meeting, we again asked John Lyon if he could give us the exact figure of how much overpayment has to be paid back for Medicare, and he still can't. He thinks it might be around 200,000. So we keep asking him every meeting. He never has got us a number sent back to him yet. So when we find out, we'll let everybody know.
As far as I know, that's the only thing I have. Sarah? Okay. John, you had a chance, you want to make a motion to accept the claims?
I move to accept the payroll claims.
Second? All in favor, raise your right hand. Anything else to come before the Board of Commissioners? Welcome, everyone. The crowd's down this week. I don't know what happened. Hopefully, everybody's satisfied, maybe. Not.
We're getting close to setting a record here if we,
I know. I'm going to adjourn the meeting. We're adjourned.
Or you need a second?
Did I get a second? We got a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. We are adjourned. I can't believe it.
Hold on a second. Okay. Let me just a second. Desi just texted me. She's got paper she needs to bring over for you to sign.
She better hurry.
Who's that?
Desi's got some stuff to sign.
She just has a paper that she needs to sign.
Sure.
I say, come right now.
Is that it? Sure, on the agenda, should put it before 10.
Takes her a while.
Sarah, most of your employees.
Hey, Gerald.